Hey, it's Biddy Penny, and I have a basic jelly printing video for you today. This is a technique I like to use from time to time when I'm doing mass production on cards. It's a great way to get a background going. It's so much fun. I love this process. I use it a lot in my junk journals and in my card making. So today I'm just grabbing 4 random colors. And then I'm going to use these little jelly plates as my kind of spotlight images. So that's kind of stamping I'm doing today. I also have a 5x7, a 6x6, an 8x10, and a 9x12, which I use the most in my junk journals. So they all do different things for me, and I enjoy them greatly. So these little ones, I'm going to line them up on my grid here so that I can line up my card bases with it and get everything, make sure that I'm kind of in the roughly the right area each time I go to get an impression. So with these little ones, I find that that's important. So I know you can't see anything yet until I get that paint on them, but you'll see them throughout the rest of the video as soon as I apply that first layer there. So the paint that I'm using here is like less than $1 a bottle. I think it's actually like 50 cents a bottle. I don't remember. It's from Walmart or Hobby Lobby or Michael's, or I'm sure you can find it online, but you might pay more than if you went to a big box store. And I just pick out pretty colors and I'm good to go. So that's where this is from and what I use. I think this is the apple barrel, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to get a real basic layer here. And then I have these pre-cut bases that I'm bringing in. These are 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just, there we go, getting a spotlight of color. So these cards that I'm making today are for my pastor at my church, and he is doing an awesome series right now, the Gospel According to Rembrandt. And if you like to listen to things while you craft, I know I do. I often like to kind of listen to different audio books, sermons, whatever I feel inspired by at the time. I know Audible, I get a lot of time out of Audible when I'm crafting. And then also I like to listen to different pastors that I know that I'm not going to, I can't attend their church. They're too far away. So I like that they have online ones. And I'm going to leave a link to our church. We have, since quarantine, we have moved online and we have a YouTube channel. And our pastor is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. The ministries of our church are also amazing. They have so many community ministries right here in our community that they take part in, as well as global outreach, building libraries in Africa and all kinds of things. So definitely, I want to leave a link for you so you can check it out. Okay, so back to the card making. I am now taking the paint directly to the jelly print. And what this does is gives you a much more saturated color. So before it was more of a dry, more transparent approach, and this is much more opaque. So depending on what you're going for, you can use those two different techniques. Now in jelly printing, you can bring in stencils and you can do layer upon layer and stamps, and you can do all kinds of things with the jelly print. It's quite incredible, but I kept it very basic for this video. And so these are kind of like a set and then these kind of all line up, and then those are my last 3 there. So it doesn't take long. Now those last 3, because they were more saturated, took the longest to dry, but it doesn't take that long overall. This paint dries pretty quickly. And I die cut these crosses from an old retired Stampin' Up! Die set, and then I brought in some stamps, and I'm just going to get to crafting here. So I knew I wanted, you know, the crosses on there, and I also wanted a large sentiment, and so I'm just playing around here. I'm going to do a little bit of stamping in this video. I'm going to show you, basically, I'm going to stamp one of each design that I did for you guys to see. I should have used stronger magnets, so this really messed me up with this sentiment in particular. You know, it's a large sentiment, and so that has more pull on the paper, so it's going to stick and pull the paper up more than like a small sentiment would. So think about that and see how it lifts. Think about that when you're stamping in a platform. This is the Stamparatus. Use your strongest magnets when you have your largest image. So since my paper shifted, I got things off. But it's okay, because I'm going to show you later in this video how I fixed it. So I probably donate about 200 cards a year to my pastor, and then probably another 200 to the children's ministry of our church. So if one of them's not perfect, I don't sweat it, right? It'll be okay. But I do make sure they look nice, because I want whoever's receiving them to fully enjoy them. So here's a really pretty one. I brought in this poppy stamp, and it's a rose, and I just love it. I love that stamp company because they put so much detail in their designs, and I adore it. So this was really cute. And then I'm playing with these keys. These are By the Well for God, and I love their stamp sets. This design is really different. I'm sure he'll put it to use. I only made 3 of the cards, but basically I was really inspired by Pastor Steve's sermons, with, you know, they're based right now with the series that he has been doing, The Gospel According to Rembrandt. They're based on Rembrandt paintings. And so I wanted to give him a very artsy set of cards. You know, it's just so inspiring. So I wanted to give back and let him know he had inspired me. So here's one with keys. And the techniques I'm showing you today obviously can be used with any kind of color selections you want, and any kind of, you know, stamps and themes that you want, obviously. I'm doing these for a very specific cause, but you could do these for birthdays or thank yous or whatever you need to make a bunch of. And really, GELLI printing for me is just so joyous. I just love playing with paint, and I like that everything I do, I get a different result. So this is a technique I had shown in a previous video, and I said I use it a lot, and I do. And I'm just smearing a thin coat of that paint, and these are for the inside of the cards. So I'm showing you here that you don't have to have a stamp positioning tool to be able to stamp on top of this acrylic paint. You can use just regular blocks. Just give it some time. You don't want to leave it on there too long because it might pull up some of the paint, but you can get great impressions just stamping with a block if that's all you have. Okay, and so now I'm bringing in another sentiment to go in the center of that little rose note, and it says worship and color, which I thought was fitting. And this again is by the Well for God stamp set. So I am probably going to leave the comments activated for this video, but I ask y'all to keep it classy. So many times I see, you know, such harsh comments when someone's sharing their faith, and I will delete them, just so y'all know. This is a safe place. I am determined to keep my channel there. It's small right now. I don't think I have to worry about it. So yeah, it's just a goal of mine to keep this channel safe for everyone, but I'm going to share things that pertain to my life, and this pertains in a big way to my life. So I used a fine liner and filled in the small areas that had kind of doubled up on that sentiment, and then I'm using this bigger one to fill in areas that didn't get a great impression, and I made it work. So it doesn't look exactly like the others, but it's definitely a go. All right, so now I'm going to assemble everything. And what I'm doing here, I had let all of this dry overnight, by the way, because I used that VersaFine ink, and it really needed time to dry. I knew I would smear it if I didn't. So I did all of this. I left it overnight, and I came back to it the next day. So I made my own card bases, this light blue. I thought it went well. And you could definitely trim these down. In fact, I was thinking about it, but I opted not to. So, you know, you could add a pattern paper, you could do embossing, you can do all kinds of things. But I kept them pretty simple, and I like them. So here's a quick flip through of some of them. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe it gives you some ideas. You know, if you're looking for something to listen to, it's absolutely free, or you can watch the sermons on our YouTube channel. Our church also has a podcast, and it's Pflugerville Community Church. So I'll leave some links below if you're interested. If not, no worries. It's okay. We are here to make art, right? So I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and thanks again for giving me your time and watching my channel. Subscribe. Thanks. Bye.